What is up, YouTube? It's Jacob. Today we're doing week 9, day 3, pause squats, and then close grip bench. Let's get into it. Starting on pause squats, we had a pretty good day. We did different jumps that we normally would, a little bit higher since we've been doing a little bit more weight. And today we ended up hitting a new PR. Finally broke the 400-pound barrier. It's been something I wanted to break on regular squats, but now we got pause squats. So very exciting. As for warm-ups, what I like to do is go 1 plate, 2 plate, and then now, instead of going to 309, we jump to 320. So it may not seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, when you realize how much even your warm-ups are progressing, it's something that's like you should take note of. Like before, 320 might not have even been close to a warm-up, but now it's a higher jump that you've taken. So things like this progress a lot. And after this, we jumped higher than we normally would. Again, we jumped to 364. So these jumps are kind of more similar to what it would be in pound plates. Before, I would kind of take more conservative jumps when I use kilos, but we're getting a lot more used to the setup. And then here's our last warm-up before we try to top set weight, 386. And moved pretty good. And for our rep after this, which we'll get into, I actually had to redo it. Yeah, pause was not bad on this one, wasn't great, but going off of that, the pause on this rep I was not happy with it at all. So even though this is a lot of weight and I technically paused it, it wasn't a pause that I considered. It was more like rolling through a stop sign where I stopped my momentum for literally like a quarter of a second and went. So here we go. Yeah, looking back at that footage, I'm still not happy with how this rep went. Still repping over 402, which is good at depth, but here's where I was very, very, very happy with how it went on this pause, so let's watch it. Yeah, that is a pause. So going to our back off, still try to think about keeping that pause solid. We've gotten better and better and better every time, which funny enough, I don't know if you can see, but my clip I forgot to put on and I kind of felt it. So that was very awkward. But yeah, pauses have been 100% better. Did a little 4x5, 336 for the first 3 sets, and then we dropped down after this one 10% about. But squat is feeling better altogether. And overall, before it was more, I was lifting more weight in the front, for at least for pause squats. But on the back offs now for pause squats, they've been a lot more solid. I felt more, I guess, like the mind muscle connection's better. I feel more engagement and I feel more solid as a whole. These are really tiring, especially after I did an extra top set, but I had to keep going, do quality reps, you know, since it's not like we're doing 1 rep maxes yet, so it shouldn't be taxing to a point where I can't do my back offs afterwards, but got to keep going again, like I said, and keep going quality reps. So form-wise, the thing I keep on focusing on is making sure my knees are out, externally rotated and over my toes, especially on these pauses in that bottom range of motion. And this has helped me a lot with depth. So that's probably been my biggest improvement. And then other than that, see how sometimes I'll kick my butt up before my shoulders are go with that little slight butt wink. I don't do it every time, but it will help out for my lower back if I try to keep about staying vertical is what my cue is now. Now instead of doing, I think, generalities and like major adjustments, I think soon it's going to be like little finicky things, like exactly where I put my feet and how deep I go in my squats, etc., etc. That'll be more of what I'm going to be fixing in the future, because I feel like I've fixed the majority of all my major problems versus now it's more nitpicky. So that's good, and we're going to keep going forward on the squat. And today we end up getting into, like I said earlier, close grip bench. So let's get into that. The biggest thing that I've been trying to keep on improving has been my leg drive on bench and keeping sure I'm tight. So we kind of focused on that. And close grip's always been weird. And again, I always have to specify, close grip doesn't mean all the way close. It just means a closer grip, at least 2 fingers from where my normal grip is. And since my range of motion is very big, it's still a relatively wide grip for most people. So the thing with going closer is I have to end up putting the weight so much lower on my chest. And here's our top set. Watch it. And that was a good set, but going back into what I was saying beforehand was, since I have to go lower on my chest and I normally have to go pretty low, it's very awkward pressing in close grip versus a regular bench press. So it's one of my weaker lifts, I would say. So I don't, but in the same vein, because I'm so much weaker at it, it is allowing me to be stronger on my main lift because I'm working on my weak areas. So for our back off, we end up hitting a 3x5 with 184. Pretty good. And I made sure to pause it on my chest and really press every single set, which now is a pretty standard thought for every single bench press session. So nothing really changing here. Just trying to work on leg drive, tightness, and really pausing and pressing. So that'll take us to the end of this one. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and check other videos similar to this one. Use code JHilly for 10% off at Get Raw Nutrition, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.